Grind don't stop. Grind don't stop. Grind don't stop. Grind don't stop. Grind don't stop.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chewed Gum. Today is April 14th, and this is a show about rejecting purity culture, challenging misogyny, and the effects of religious trauma on women. If you would like to call about any of ththose topics, you can call 720-619-2288. I'm Alyssa. Hello.
And I'm Taylor. Hi, guys.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. I mean, yeah, it's going good. I'm trying to think if anything has happened to me or anything. Oh my gosh, there was something I did want to talk to you about, and now it's gone. I should have wrote it down when I thought about it.
I don't know.
I think I did want to talk about, it's not very exciting, but I did want to talk about the fact that I watched I started watching the new Handmaid's Tale show.
Oh, how do you like it?
Good, but I think it's a little too depressing. I'm not sure if I'll keep watching it because it's just so, it's just Christian nationalism. And then I watched the new episode of Euphoria, which I wanted to talk about because it was weird how much they talked about Christianity through the whole episode. I was like, what's happening?
Well, I haven't watched it yet, but I saw a billboard when I was driving earlier, and I saw in the back, it's a bunch of the characters, and in the background you could see it says Jesus loves you. So I'm assuming, because Rue is an addict, I assume there's some
Jesus
storyline that's gonna come down the
Rue in the show, so she hung out with these people on a farm, and it was a Christian family, but when she was talking to her bestie about it, Lex, I'm not good with the names, I think that's her name, she was like, I don't know, but they seem like the happiest people on earth. And then later in the show she becomes a Christian, or says she does. I don't know. It's very, but I think so. I tried to look up at seeing if anyone had any discourse on this, and I didn't see anything, but I do know, I think people have mentioned the fact that AA has a lot of religion pushed into it.
Yeah.
And so I guess it makes sense when her sponsor, or is that what you call it? Not sponsor. Is it?
I guess, yeah, I think so. Your sponsor? Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's Christian. I don't know. It was weird. I couldn't tell if it was being seen in a good light or what, but it was interesting. I just didn't see that coming.
I'm excited to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. Although I did see someone talking about how the guy who like wrote and created the show, someone was like, he needs to go to jail. Like something is not right. Like the because especially like I know that Sydney Sweeney is like hype, like even more than she normally is, sexualized in the show this season.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, it's
she's a
bad.
sex worker now, right?
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I think the first episode was bad. Like
Hmm.
of this season, I think it was just bad. I it didn't seem like the same show at all and just seemed really weird. That's all I know what to say about it. But yeah, there was a like I feel like this the creator just likes to try and shock people.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
I know.
sometimes shocking everybody doesn't make for a good story.
I know. And also, like, sometimes shocking people is just not productive. Like, I was also thinking about it earlier this morning. I don't know why. Or maybe it's because I saw the billboard. I remember when the first season came out, there were people who were like, my daughter, my son, they were watching this show and they said, this is what real life is like for them now. Bull fucking shit. Where do you live? Where do you live that you
Wait, like
live?
the first season of Euphoria?
Yes, when that first season came on, I remembered
No,
saying that.
that's
Like,
so exaggerating if they say that. That's crazy.
that feels like the equivalent to me of like seeing Project X and being like, I had parties like that in high school. No, you fucking didn't. Like, literally, no, you
Our
didn't.
parties were just like that.
I like could not believe. I was like, that's so. And every now and then that like pops into my head that some kid told their mom that. And I was like, that's just not true. It's just not
I
true.
know they so I feel like any show with high schoolers that's being played by older people is always so insane. And
Oh
it's
my God,
like,
I know.
can't we just make more shows about college then? I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God. Yeah, right. Just put them in college like everyone
Right.
else. I actually just watched an interview with Lena Dunham. Did you watch Girls?
Yes, I did
That show
literally
Girls?
just recently,
Okay.
like out of
I
nowhere.
watched I watched the first like two seasons of it and then I sort of fell off. But she just wrote a memoir and I used to really, really like her. And then there was so much about her and it just got like so messy. I think I'm gonna read her memoir though, because I do
Which one
enjoy her.
which one is she? Like in the
Sh
show?
She's Hannah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
And
know
she wrote
nothing
the
about
show.
her.
Yeah, she wrote the
Oh,
show.
I did
And
not know that. That's
there were
crazy.
yeah, there were a lot of things about her that made her like extremely problematic. Like she describes in her book, I can't remember what it's called, essentially molesting her sister. Like
What?
yeah, like she has some stuff
Why'd
and
she write that? Like, why did she?
I think because I don't know, part of me, so like if I'm being charitable, I think she was writing it because it was true and because I don't think that she was seeing it in that lens. Like I don't think that
Yeah.
I just don't think she saw it that way. But the other part of it is she grew up with like very like what's it called, affluent parents that were like in the art community. And so the whole like discourse about her was that she just like has never like she wrote this character who was struggling with money as a person who like never struggled with money. And then like people figured out that like her parents are artists, so she was kind of nepo baby vibes. And then it was like this whole thing, and it's like one of those moments where I'm like, you all see fuck ass Chris Brown live. Let me watch Girls, because I felt like that felt like way closer to what my experience was. Like I went to college in New York City, and like that
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
way closer, way closer.
I do feel
But
like I just feel like men get away with more every
of
single
course they do.
time.
Of
Every
course
single
they do.
time. Because I think we've talked about this like multiple times, but it just runs through my head literally every single day that the only person that's in prison for the Epstein files is a woman. That's like just it's like poetic. I can't like
I
and I'm not saying because people always do this when I bring this up. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to be in jail. But I do think it's whack that the only person in jail right now for the Epstein files is a woman. Like it's just so crazy. It's so crazy.
You just reminded me that I want to make a video about that.
Yeah, it's poetic, that's for sure.
It's just so crazy. Oh wait, I need to show you guys my shirt because you guys are gonna love it. And um I think Jimmy opened it on the podcast, but I got him a matching one.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, I
Isn't
think
it
I've seen that. Now it's inspiring me to get one because it's actually really cute.
Right? It's cute. And I
I
got him
love
some
it.
other funny shirts. I got him one that has like it has like Jesus and then like a couple other like Santa and the Easter Bunny and like a couple other like I think there's some other religious people in there too and it says imaginary friends at the bottom.
I love
Hilarious.
that. I love that.
Right?
That's
Oh my
cute.
God. I just saw in the chat someone said I remembered loving Flyleaf growing up, saw them live last year and the whole show was ruined for me because Lacey Sturm's gross Christian propaganda. I loved Flyleaf
Me too.
when I was young, and I'm so upset that that it was. I think the music was Christian shit the whole time, and I didn't realize.
I didn't know, which is like kind of surprising because when I was like a young teen, I listened to a ton of Christian music. But
Hmm.
I also started listening to secular music, and she was like part of the secular music. Like I literally thought that when I
Yeah,
was listening to her. I had no idea she was a Christian artist. I don't know why, but I didn't. And then
maybe
um
because she sounds like a fucking demon. Like she has such like a her scream is so crazy.
part of me wonders if it's because like if there were Christians who didn't feel like her music was like acceptable or Christian enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm kind of shocked that she's still Christian because I feel like there are so many um Christian artists that I always hear become no longer Christian, have became no
Mm.
longer Christian. Like a lot of people in ah, frick, I can't remember the name now, but it was like the name of like a guy and that was the whole band. Anyways, um yeah, that's kind of surprising that she's still in it. Wow.
Yeah, I know. Crazy. We have some calls that are coming in, but we also have lines that are open. So if you wanted to call, we would love that. We would also love to hear from our fellow theists, our people who like to be all up in the comments telling me that I'm a whore and whatever. Like just call in. Call
We
in.
want to chat.
I would
We want to
love to
hang.
discuss this with you. I really would. So yeah, give us a call and we'll yap it up. Oh my God. You know what I didn't really get to talk that much about? Trump's little Jesus picture.
Oh my God. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh. I just knew for a lot of Christians they would actually like have an issue with it. But I knew some would defend. So I was very interested to see how it would go.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like almost 50-50 to me. I don't know if that's true, but that's how it seems. What do you think?
I mean, we're in a weird place because it just feels like people who are super MAGA will just defend him at all costs, and it doesn't matter what's reasonable. And
Yeah.
again, it's like I think of my friend who when I think when did she start doing this? Maybe it was after like Charlie Kirk stuff. She now has a spreadsheet um of proof and evidence of people supporting Trump because she's like, I will not let you have a moment's peace. You
Oh
will
God.
never be able to wiggle your way out of this. You will
Yeah.
never be able to tell me you were casual about it or that there was any way to like even
Yeah.
remotely downgrade your feelings about this man and this administration. So,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the people who were already criticizing Trump, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and I forget who the other person was that I looked at, but they like went in hard on it. Obviously, I mean
mm,
they already don't like him, but I saw, do you know who Joel Webben is? He's literally insane.
no, no, who's
He's
that?
he's like a I don't even know what he is. He's like a Christian nationalist, red-pilled podcaster dude. And his clips get like shown around a lot, but he
Hmm.
says insane things. Like he said that you need to be God's Avenger and join ICE. Like ICE is God's Avengers, and then he said that women should be able to vote, and he just like said the most insane stuff, but he said he made a tweet that said Trump is possessed by demons. I believe Trump is possessed by demons right now, and it was so funny. I was like, that is hilarious. And it was
Well,
I posted it on my story and I said love to see it because I thought it was funny. And I had people messaging me like, "Why do you think that's funny?" or "Demons aren't real." I'm like, "Guys, let me have a moment of joy, please."
well, I know. There's no joy allowed.
Uh,
No joy allowed. That's really fucking
but
funny, actually.
that's also why I think he dead ass does have dementia because
Yeah.
that was stupid. Like that was
Yes.
actually so dumb to do that to his Christian base because I don't know if
Hmm.
he realizes they're the like it seemed to me for the longest time he realized that Christians were the ones
Yeah.
like supporting him and like carrying him through this whole thing because he catered to them, but then he did that and I'm like, why? Like that was a dumb, like even for him that was like a very dumb move and I'm like, did
Yeah.
he even, I don't know. It was just very bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself? Because before that, people were like, oh, Trump's really going to destroy his fan base because he's talking bad about the Pope. And I'm like, the thing is, a lot of evangelicals don't think Catholics are quote unquote real Christians, as silly as that sounds. So they don't care
Yeah.
about anything regarding the Pope, but the mockery or whatever of Jesus, that's where they draw the line. Not literally anything else, but this is where they
Right.
draw the line.
Right. Not at saying you want to level an entire civilization, but the mockery of Jesus,
Yeah, because
that's
they see all
where.
that other shit as necessary suffering and part of the
Hmm.
plan, blah 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 blah. But apparently mocking God is never part of the plan, so unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Um, what else was I gonna say? Oh, I saw a woman on TikTok and I meant to send it to you and I forgot. This woman talking about how like the last frontier for her of deconstructing the patriarchy was deconstructing Jesus because like all of the ways that they describe Jesus's good behaviors, like that he was so caring and that he put other people first and like all of the things that define who Jesus is are like just traditionally what women are and
Yes.
like how women are just like socialized to be. So what
Yep.
did we like what are we
Yeah,
talking about?
I've heard that take before and it's very true. It's so freaking true.
Yeah.
It's so weird even to see the I don't know, the Christian nationalist men today still act like they like Jesus
Mhm.
specifically because I'm
Mhm.
like you like if he existed today you guys would think he's like I don't
Bloodline
know
virus.
like feminine or too
Yeah.
soft or whatever. Yeah, it's
Well,
very ironic, all of
look at
it.
how they treat Pope Leo. And I
Yeah,
think that like
exactly.
he's doing his best to like be more aligned, I guess, with that kind of
Yeah, and I feel like
vibe.
all he's really said, all Publio has really said is like, I don't agree with violence, and they're like, how dare you?
I
Like,
know.
like, what would we think that Jesus would said? Bomb him? Like, do we think that? This idea of like Republican Jesus is just so funny to me. Um, I
Sorry,
love this.
my
Oh,
dog's
God.
arm is shaking really weird, so I'm just taking a video of it because she's being really weird. Okay. That'll be helpful when I have to explain that shit to the vet. Anyway.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry,
Um,
what were you gonna say?
just the skits of people doing like Republican Jesus are really funny because
God.
it really would be a different type of Jesus if he was a Republican Jesus. And
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who's like, oh my gosh, Jesus was so great, but it's obvious he wasn't like, you know, he's I don't know. Definitely not in line with the people now, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. Um just so nuts. And I can't believe that Trump said that he thought that he was a doctor, like in that
He's
picture.
lying.
He's
That's a
fucking
lie.
lying. He's lying. He's lying.
Have
Oh,
you seen
sorry.
those pictures of people who are like, I just became a doctor or whatever, and they're wearing Jesus's clothes, or they put
Yes.
Jesus in like scrubs.
I saw one where they had the picture of like the Jesus costume from Spirit Halloween.
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
just put
yeah.
doctor on it. Oh,
Yes.
so good. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. Oh, and in case anyone wants an update on the long message that I sent to the relative that is like super MAGA,
Oh
and I like
yeah.
he has said nothing, and her relatives have all liked my post. So like her like mother-in-law and her
Dang.
sister-in-law, like they all liked the post, and I'm like, you must feel insane. But they don't, because the people who are
Wow.
like MAGA don't feel it. They feel like they are the ultimate victim. So
Yeah.
they don't care.
I'm glad you got a lot of likes on it though, because it's
Me
like not
too.
just you saying
Yeah,
this.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I loved
Okay,
it.
so if anyone is going to be joining us for LineCon this weekend, I'm excited for that. I'll be going up on Saturday, and I don't know what my topic is going to be yet. So if you guys have a suggestion of a topic, send a super chat with your topic, so that I can get some ideas, because I have some ideas, but I want to make sure the thing that I'm talking about is something that like you actually care about and want to hear me specifically yap about for like 20 minutes.
I feel like
Um,
you're a professional in like presenting, because didn't you say you did a TED Talk?
I did do a TED Talk,
That's
and if I
scary.
Oh, I was shaking like a leaf, and I brought like I couldn't memorize it to save my life, so I
Yeah.
brought note cards and I like was kind of reading from them, and it was when I watched the TED Talk, I'm like, I wish I could have done it again, but
I'm
you know,
sure it's horrifying for a lot of people who do that, especially for the first time. I can't
yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, it was very stressful. Very stressful. But yeah, so if you want to join us for LineCon, you can go to patreon.com/calledtheline. I believe for LineCon, it's the $15 tier, but be sure to go check that out. And as you already know, the Patreon helps to support this show and all of the other shows on the line. And so we would really appreciate if you'd be a patron, even if it's not for the $15 tier, even if it's for one of the lower ones. It really does help. And so, yeah, that would be wonderful. And super chats will be right at the end of the show. Super chats of $5 or more. So make sure that you get those in early. And if you have any suggestions of what you would like to hear me talk about on Saturday, put that in your super chat. All right, so we have some calls that are in our little queue, and we also still have some lines that are open, but do we want to start taking some calls?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's see. Which do you prefer?
Oh my gosh, they came at the same exact time.
Mm-hmm.
M- Maybe the 8-7 one?
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, we have Lewis, who is calling in from the UK. Hi, Lewis.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me okay?
Hi. Yes, we can. How's it going?
It's going really well. Yeah, I hope everything's going well with you too.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
good
good.
enough.
Pretty good. So what did you want to discuss
Okay, cool.
today?
Well, I wanted to talk to you both. I've been watching for quite a long time, and if I had to tally it, I'd say hundreds of hours of talking to you, of listening to you guys talk about stuff. And I know it's a big topic because I wanted to talk about like how men and women are just perceived differently, how we have to go through life differently, and how people we can do the same thing on a daily basis, and people just treat us differently just because we're men or we're women or we're trans or we're non-binary, and it's just kind of effed up, and I just wanted to talk about that with you guys. If that seems like something you'd be interested in talking about.
Sure. I think the best example that I always have for this is like the stuff that, and like I'll speak from the experience of being a woman because that's what I know best, but the stuff that women think about that men just never think about, like if I have a car in a parking lot and there's not that many people in the parking lot, like I'm scared to go to my car and I'm going to hold my key in between my fingers just in case, like that kind of stuff that like, like I don't feel like I can travel by myself. Like I would love to do, like I actually would really love to drive across the country again, but by myself. And I don't feel like I can safely do that. Like that just, it feels like a bad idea stopping in like random states along the way and being by myself. And, like I don't feel like that's a good idea. And it sucks. Like that stuff is just not an option for us, it feels like, at least. And the safety stuff for sure.
Yeah, that reminds me of one time I was really contemplating going on a hike by myself because nobody could come with me and I really wanted to go. I decided not to go because I was like, I might be just so paranoid that I won't enjoy it. I'm not kidding you. A couple weeks later, that trail, they found an old remains of a woman, like skeleton. Now,
Oh
mind
my God.
you, it was from like forever ago, but still, I was like, oh hell no, I'm never even considering this ever again. It was horrifying.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if there was any foul play, but still, it scared the shit out of me. But yeah, I think that is a huge one. And there was something else I wanted to say, and I'm trying to think. But
Oh, you want to know another one that I struggle with regularly? I was diagnosed with ADHD as an adult, and now like every day of my life, there's something new that comes up. Like I said this, I think last week, there's something that comes up that like I thought was like part of my personality, but is actually just like a part of ADHD. But anytime I have to explain that I have that diagnosis, that a doctor gave me that diagnosis, that I went through the very expensive and extensive process to get that diagnosis, I still have to defend myself to people. And it makes me so fucking mad because I don't think that, like, I know as children, little boys get diagnosed way easier than women do or girls do. And so that's like another weird one where I'm like, I have to defend that that's a real diagnosis that I have pretty much any time I bring it up. And it's like, even if I've been like medicated for 5 years, even so, it like doesn't matter. It ends up just still being something that I have to like defend to the death. But
right.
I don't know.
No, that
Lewis,
makes sense.
do you have any thoughts? We just like yapped for a while.
Yeah. Those are definitely valid and definitely something that I think the motivation for me talking to you today is I've been talking to the women that I love in my life, and they've been talking to me about how it's so different. And yeah, you've both brought up great examples, and my female family members and the people around me, they've brought up similar situations. They've brought up safety. They brought up traveling. I mean, the specific incident where Taylor actually found a dead person is not something they brought up, but
I didn't find them, but someone did.
But yeah, it's just it's crazy. I do feel privileged that I am someone I can travel in the world. I can go through the world and I can feel safe, and I don't think it's really effed up that I can do that. And there's so many people that probably couldn't do that, and they feel like they can't do that. It's just a hell of a lot. But Yeah, I know from personal experience there's a lot of people that I've spoken to, and they've said that they don't know a single woman that hasn't felt like threatened just from being around people, and it really makes me angry because it makes me angry that I didn't know about it sooner. It makes me angry that I can't do anything about it. And I respect both of your opinions, and I just wanted to, talk to you guys about that. I mean, it's a big topic, and we can talk about some other stuff too. But it's, I mean, those are my thoughts on what you guys just said. I mean, they're really big topics. I think, I think really safety and travels. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I know I'm talking a lot. I'll stop now and let you respond.
No, that's so fine. I was just I think about this pretty often because my partner goes on runs and walks at night all the time. And sometimes he'll ask me to go on walks at night, and I still don't. Like, I don't have fun. I'm like paranoid. But I did want to talk about something that I know a lot of women talk about online is like the mental labor that a lot of men don't do when it comes to just living everyday life, like in a house with chores, and how a lot of women feel responsibility of telling men what to do in the house and like what the chores should be. And I feel like it obviously makes women mad because you feel like you're parenting somebody, number one. And number two, that's more work that you have to do again. And I also have heard women talk about how their partner will ask them to write lists for them and all of this stuff for the grocery store. Like they can't do that either. And it sucks because I'm not saying there's excuses for it, but I really feel like because of how we treat gender in this country, the way we also raise up boys, they just don't. Like, I think about that also with things like deep cleaning. I know that's so specific, but I don't know very many men who like deep clean or know how to. And I feel like that says something about our society in general.
Did I tell you about the person I saw who made a video about how if you are a man whose partner keeps telling them like, I need your help cleaning the house, and you genuinely are like, I don't see what you see when you think the house is dirty. He said to tell yourself you paid someone to clean your house and then look around and think, what would you be mad that they didn't do?
Oh yeah, I think I've heard you say this. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And it's a really good idea, but it's also kind of interesting because the only way that this person is able to conceptualize the work that women are instinctively doing is by like registering the failure of and someone said to me recently that saying it this way is making the assumption that people who clean houses are all women. I'm sorry. I've never ever seen like a male house cleaner. So I'm not saying that they don't exist, but they're by far the minority. Yeah. So the only way that this person is able to conceptualize like what needs to be cleaned is by thinking about a fictional woman who failed at her job, which is crazy. Like crazy to think about.
Like I'm sure it works, but like yeah, when you get down to it, it's like damn, that's crazy. Yeah. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say is I was reading this article about how much that mental load, though, men versus women impact divorce, even like conservative couples that don't really believe in divorce, if that's what you want to call it. But I know we've talked about this before, but just the idea that usually two people have to work now, but yet the household stuff is still typically expected of the woman, especially if you're in a like conservative relationship, I guess, or you're both conservatives. And I just think about that a lot, about how it would even drive people who don't believe in divorce to get divorced because it's too much. And then they also have kids. So they have that as well, where people act like for some reason only the mother can really raise the child for some reason. I noticed that a lot in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives,
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of the men would just constantly complain, like, or act as if they couldn't possibly raise the children. I'm like, that's interesting. And like the woman can't go off and work. I'm like, that's interesting because women did that for like ever and they still do. So why? And they always say, well, I'm not a mom. So what? You're a dad. Like you can't do
Right.
it. It's
Right.
just,
Yeah, I know. And it's also like I see people talking about cleaning in the chat, and one of the things that always strikes me as most interesting is like many times, and this is a big generalization, obviously, men seem to be okay with a different quality of cleanliness. Like a girl will get in there and make it like sparkle.
yeah.
And they'll do that regularly. Like I vacuum like every 2-3 days because we have 2 dogs in here and it's an apartment. So like, you know, just so there's not hair everywhere. But like I do that because I don't want to see the hair everywhere and it bothers me and then it gets everywhere else and it grosses me out. But like I don't think that feeling occurs to people. Like my fiance, God love him. He'll leave his laundry for like he will leave his laundry until he literally has no underwear left. And I'm like, but if you just did it on like a weekly basis, when you do your laundry day, it would not be so bad. But it doesn't bother him. And so it doesn't like now he's shifting his behavior because it's easier for both of us and there's 2 people there. But if I were not there, like he would just live in that system and he just wouldn't care.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of women who feel like they can't relax if their house is to certain extents or even like everyday mess. And I feel like that also has to be how a lot of people are raised too, of what they should be looking for, what's acceptable versus not. Yeah. I hate it. I have to have I like, you know me, I also have a lot of animals, so that's a big thing for me too.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be stressed out about that.
Lewis, do you feel like you were taught how to keep a house, like how to like clean and like grocery shop and stuff like that?
I do feel that I was taught that by a very attentive, close-knit family group. I ignored most of them most of the time. I don't know how much of that is just being a man with a man-wired brain, but yeah, I did. And now that I'm an adult and I have to fend for myself, I do.
Right.
I do all of those things, and I do all those things as much as I can. But if I can just talk a little bit about what you guys were talking about with the deep cleaning and stuff. Yeah, I do get what you mean, Taylor, about like men aren't taught, or it doesn't seem like they're taught to.
Did he drop?
Lewis? Hello? I don't know. It says he's still on the line, so I don't know if he can still hear us. Lewis? Oh, maybe you need to tap your phone if you're calling on a web caller.
Yeah, sorry, can you... Did I
there you are.
out? Sorry.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. Where did it stop?
You were talking about how men are not trained to deep clean or not like taught how to deep clean.
Oh yeah, no, I was just talking about what Taylor was saying. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like men aren't taught to deep clean. Yeah, but I think that's more. Some men just can't be bothered, maybe, or some men are just I mean, I try to now that I'm 34 and trying to live my life, and it's just one of those things, and I do sympathize with pets as well, because even though I don't have pets right now, I've had pets many times, and there's something about a lot of a lot of the men I know, they're either it's kind of one end of the spectrum or the other. They're either like really orderly or like really disorderly, in my opinion, and there doesn't seem to be much in between, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I know that growing up, I would have chores involving cleaning inside, and my brothers would mow the lawn. And so I feel like the lawn only needs to be mowed like what, once a week? I don't know. I don't have a lawn. Um, but I think a lot of times, at least from my experience, it comes down to that. I see it often, but it's hard to know exactly what impacts us growing up versus I don't know. I don't know how to tell that stuff apart. So you might be right. I don't know.
There's some people in the chat also who are saying that they've seen laziness across both genders, and this is a big generalization. Like, yeah, of course, this is a generalization, and there's going to be people on either side of this that are exceptions to the rule. The conversation is just about how when men are young boys, they are not expected to take on that like load of chores. Like, that's not the type of thing that they're taught to do in westernized homes. So that's just sort of like what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
Oh,
you
I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna say, um, also the generalization is because at least I notice this is an issue in a lot of modern day relationships because again, both of them typically need to work in the relationship, and yet we haven't transitioned out of expecting a woman to typically raise the kids and do all the chores. So the generalization is for that complaint. I feel like there was implied nuance there, but I don't know. Is he gone? What's happening?
I think he dropped.
Oh no, he dropped. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's unfortunately how it is. I don't know. I know plenty of guys who have really, really, really messy apartments and very, very, very few who have very clean ones. And that
Yeah.
are able to like grocery shop. And honestly, it's like it's kind of a disservice from inherited from their parents. And the thing that's so crazy about that is, like, you know that song Man Child, the Sabrina Carpenter song?
Yeah.
There's a line in the song where she says something about how she's gonna call his mom, like the man child's mom, and like report back that this person is like not doing anything. And I think that's also so funny because you still made it a woman's job. Like you still
Yeah.
it's like even
that
like we're
happens
talking
a lot with the mom thing.
yeah. It's like they'll say like who raised you and you know that they're talking about their mom. Like that's
Yeah.
like that's kind of what's happening.
The blame no matter what. Yeah.
It still is a woman's issue. It's crazy.
Yeah. I agree. It's
You know?
insane.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, that was a fun call. Thank you so much for calling, Lewis. I hope if you're still listening. And I mean, we could talk about that in a million different ways.
Yeah.
It's hard with those conversations because we're always going to be generalizing, and it's kind of like, how useful is it to generalize beyond being mindful of like, you know, what the young boys around us are learning? Like they should like. It's so funny that like in Girl Scouts, I learned like baking skills and cooking skills, and Boy Scouts are learning how to like build a fire outside. It's like when are you ever gonna do that? When are you literally ever gonna do that?
And you also know it's a big thing because I've seen mothers make content off of teaching their boys how to clean and cook. And I'm like, if it wasn't an issue, they wouldn't be making those videos and they wouldn't get so popular of being like, great job of doing that, which I agree, great job, but like it would be a normal thing, and it's a
Yeah.
lot of people don't see it as a normal thing. So
Right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be like shock content, shock value content. Yeah, I know. All right, so we have some other calls in the chat. We have one that is arguing a God claim, which feels like close enough to
close enough.
yeah, to a theist, even though they are identifying themselves as agnostic. But we're gonna pull in Shia, who is calling from North Carolina. Hello, Shia.
Hi.
Hello. How's it going?
Hi. Good. How are
Good.
you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I definitely usually argue for atheism when I'm doing these types of things. I'm usually not the kind of guy that's sitting on the opposite side of this position.
Mhm.
I usually read that kind of stuff more so, but just because of today's prompt, God's ego is, wait, hold on, what is it again? God's ego is embarrassing. There's like a lot of God, like, models of God, that of which are like entirely different from the Abrahamic versions of him that are all about the dissolution of ego. Specifically like Hindu gods, like in like the Vedic texts, like Advaita Vedanta, they actually specifically pray to things like Brahman. And it's not the same thing as God necessarily, but, there's spiritual faith there that of which they pray to. So I think this kind of prompt only really applies to, like, Abrahamic faith.
I know it. To me, it applies to, kind of Abrahamic religions, and I can't really say much to others because I'm not gonna act like I know a lot about them because it's very surface level for me. But yeah, I don't know, any god I think that requires worship, though, I would argue is extremely egotistical, no matter what they stand for. Which again, I don't know which religions their god requires any kind of worship or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would see that, of course. Like requiring worship kind of seems crazy. If I was God, I probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Like, are y'all familiar? Like, y'all are extreme, just straight up non-dualists, or are y'all like mind-body dualists, physicalists? What's y'all's stance on like metaphysics?
I don't know. I feel like I don't really understand your question. Like, I don't believe in a God. I don't believe
Not
in
spiritual.
Yeah, like
Nothing.
I'm not spiritual. I think it's like kind of fun to reflect on things and be like, wow, everything worked out. The whatever, the universe did its thing. And it's like, in reality though, I know that there's like no secret force that's doing all of these things. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm sorry, I'm really not sure you're rude at all, but like not necessarily. Like a physicalist is somebody that believes that the world is strictly physical, made up of matter. Like a materialist is another word for that. Mind-body dualist would be something like a Christian that believes that there is the physical world and then you have a spirit and a spiritual world, that of which is separate. A lot of Christians argue for that. And then a lot of other theistic faiths, that of which aren't Western, will argue on non-dualism. Like, and there's also non-religious arguments for non-dualism, like panpsychism. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that at all.
What is panpsychism?
It's not really a super necessarily theistic thing. Do you know the hard problem of consciousness? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to answer a question with a question.
No, I do not. I'm not super philosophical with my theology. Like, I'm not super into all of this stuff.
I
So
would also just say I'm a materialist. Like I don't know, point blank period. I think that would lead me to be a materialist. I don't believe in anything supernatural at all.
It's understandable. So the hard problem of consciousness is basically just saying that what it's like to be something kind of experience seems as though it's like entirely separate. Like it has an entirely separate makeup. It's not even related to in any way just the material world that we have around us. Like it's kind of like arguing that consciousness is like an emergent factor of your brain. Kind of feels like arguing 2 + 2 equals, you know, the taste of a cheeseburger. It doesn't seem like that kind of thing can come from that kind of thing, and that's the hard problem of consciousness.
I'm confused why it would be hard to believe that our consciousness comes from our brains. I'm confused, like, where else would it come from unless you're just talking about supernatural stuff that we just drum up?
Well, no, it's not like supernatural necessarily. Like, I guess it kind of is, but it's more so saying that it like people call it radical emergence. Like, as a materialist, you will acknowledge, or materialists generally acknowledge the fact that none of the stuff that goes into producing consciousness is conscious. Like, the chemicals in your brain aren't conscious. The reactions that happen in your brain aren't consciousness. Nothing that
right, but all of them combined create consciousness.
I feel like you would have to find like justification for how that can happen. Is like the whole argument. Sorry, I'm also really cold, but I don't know if you can tell.
I don't know. I'm just confused with the argument that sentience or something like, or consciousness, the brain doesn't explain that. I mean, I feel like we're still human, and so we don't know everything, but we know how our brains work, and we know that we evolved over time to get to this level of consciousness. And so, every single part of it by itself isn't conscious, but altogether it is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly. How does that make sense? Yeah, so like you add 2 + 2, you add 2 + 2 like 40 million times or whatever, and then you somehow get like the smell of like milk or something. Like, it makes no, like you're adding non-conscious things together, and then you're spawning consciousness. It's radical emergence. It's like it directly comes from something that is not that. It makes no sense. There's no inherent properties that which seem like it should necessitate that in any way. It just emerges. You have to justify why there's a necessity for consciousness to emerge with these exact chemicals in the way that you do. Why a human couldn't have evolved in a way that would have allowed it to just, you know, be a philosophical zombie is a phrase. Still have all the chemical firing, but not have any.
It's hard to make
what
that.
It's like to be experienced.
It's hard for me to explain to you when I'm not a biologist and someone who doesn't understand the human brain like that. But to me, it doesn't seem. I don't understand the argument that just because the things, like each individual thing that gets us to consciousness isn't conscious means that wouldn't work. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, a phrase that's used by philosophers of consciousness is that it's... Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm sorry.
What? Go ahead.
Sorry, something that a phrase that philosophers of consciousness in this field use a lot, like Philip Goff, is that would be called... He would call that radical emergence. Like, it emerges from these factors that are given, like these chemicals have to be firing in this way at this time that causes this thing that we label as consciousness. But that radical emergence seems to, like, the panpsychist or the non-dualist, like, illusion, you know? It's like you're just putting together a bunch of building blocks, like a bunch of Legos, and then somehow now we have the entire Lego movie on vinyl or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say other than I don't think it makes sense to believe that consciousness comes from any other thing other than us and how our brains and bodies work.
Well,
I don't know.
No, that's not the argument. The argument would be then that consciousness is fundamental to physical object. Like material inherently has conscious properties necessarily because material without explanation somehow spawns consciousness in given scenarios. So inherently within matter, even if it's very different, even if it doesn't because in panpsychic literature, a lot of the time people will argue that consciousness doesn't necessitate memory. You don't have to have memory to be conscious. It's just a pure state of awareness. So this like pure state of awareness is an application that we can apply to all matter. Because necessarily that's the only explanation for how it emerges.
So what do you consider consciousness? So you're saying you don't consider it to be memories and other parts that we probably would consider consciousness? I don't understand. Like, can you define consciousness? Like what you're talking about?
What it's like what it's like to be, like just the utter awareness, I guess is the best way I could phrase it, and how they usually phrase it. What it's like to be statement, that's consciousness. And then people will say, oh, memory, but that's not a necessity for something that's conscious because, for example, this is a terrible idea, but this is something that is talked about sometimes. It's like if we have a theoretical person of whom I wipe the memory of every literally 5 seconds and they remember nothing throughout the entirety of their existence, I don't think anybody would say they aren't conscious. We would all say there's conscious in there. Like that's a human. Like we value whatever experience he has to some very basic extent. Even if it's not as much, he still is experiencing something. So memory is just a feature of consciousness. Same with personality then, same with a lot of these other features of consciousness that aren't just utter awareness that would have to be applied to all material.
All right. Well, I really have nothing to say about it. I mean, it makes sense to me, again, that the things that create our consciousness by themselves, each individual thing isn't conscious. I don't know. It's not like mysterious or I feel what?
Like it doesn't move you at all. It doesn't sway you like in any way. This argument that like it's radical emergence. Like none of these things all have any even attribute of consciousness. It just comes from it somehow. That of which we have no reason for.
What do you mean we have no reason for it? What does that mean?
Like we could have evolutionarily survived with no what it's like to be statement involved. There could have never been a what it's like to be a human, and the human race could have still evolved in a very similar capacity. Probably exactly the same. There's no reason to say that that's necessary. It just did. So in this utter state of radical emergence where we have what it's like to be statements, we have this complex awareness of our own what it's like to be.
So you're saying, so it doesn't have to be this way that we're conscious, but I'm confused. Like, what is the point of even saying that? That like it doesn't have to be, but it also could be.
Well, that's an internal critique. I'm sorry. Now, under your worldview, there'd be no necessity for consciousness. We could have evolved in a way where we were just in. This is another thing that's talked about in literature sometimes. Philosophical zombies, where we don't have this what it's like to be statement. We just exist. And we still exist in the ways that we do, but we just exist. And our liver functions, we function, we drink whatever we're going to drink, we eat whatever we're going to eat, we go about our days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's foreseeable. I feel like we can agree. I would imagine, I would hope. Like there's a world where I imagine you would agree that like that we evolved without a what it's like to be statement, and we were all just literal, like in the way that I guess the theists would say you probably view it, even though I acknowledge the fact you don't view it like this already. We're all just matter floating around. We have no consciousness at all. Like that's foreseeable. Like that could have been possible, but it's not. So under your worldview, at least, I would say.
So, wait, you're saying that theists believe that without God, there's just no consciousness because we're just the pieces that create us?
Yeah, like I don't think that. I'm saying consciousness is fundamental, and then that was just gonna be one of my first premises.
Okay.
Like a non-dualist kind of God idea, like Brahmin, Hinduistic, Advaita Vedanta type God.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about that mindset, really. I mean, it's not something. No, it's fine. I'm just being honest. I don't really have. I feel like I have my just belief that who we are, our consciousness is just our brain, and that's about it. I don't really know where else to. I don't think we have proof it comes from literally anywhere else. So I just.
Are you like an illusionist? Like it's not really like we're conscious, but like your consciousness is just like your brain tricking you into believing that you're conscious.
I don't go into that
And it's
because
just
people
like,
ask me all the time, like how like prove to me that any of this is real, blah 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 blah. I
mhm.
don't I feel like those conversations like if I'm being so honest, they're boring and don't make any sense to me because you could talk about that. Like I get if people find that interesting, but to me, it's kind of like you accept that we're living in this reality or you don't. It doesn't even matter if it's fake or not. Are you going to accept it or not? And are we going to be people in this reality and have a conversation or not? Because there are a lot of
Yeah,
people who, when we have the conversation of God, I talk about how we can't prove God, obviously, and they'll say something like, prove to me that this reality is real. Well, I'll be honest, I always am starting at the ground of we both accept
mm.
we live in this reality.
Well, yeah, we got to go off a basis of evidence, not proof, because the stupid solipsistic thesis or whatever, or Rene Descartes, you can only prove your own existence. I think, therefore, I am, whatever. But
Yeah.
I think proof very well aligns with like the non-dualistic panpsychist kind of argument, where it's like this. It seems absurd that this type of thing can come from something that has no attributes of that thing, like at all, under any, like not even slightly comparable. But I get it. I mean, do you know about like this is stupid, actually. Never mind. I'm not even going to go into that. It's okay. I also want to talk about black pill. Am I allowed to say that on here?
Yeah, but just don't mention, I don't know, like,
Anything too crazy. I'm not like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Back to atheist perspective now, not weird Hindu stuff. I feel like a lot of the same cognitive dissonance that is driving like the theistic growth in the U.S. is also going into black pill, where people kind of just like take their own biases and take them to the furthest extent that they can, and then apply them.
So when you say black pill, I just want to clarify, because I'm familiar with red pill. How would you define what black pill is?
Yeah, black pill is like a somewhat
Extremely
far-right,
nihilistic.
looks-first political ideology and social movement that basically defines a person's worth based on how they look. And it's led to a lot of very bad events in the past from a lot of individuals that have taken those beliefs to the absurd extremes that they have, and it's led to a lot of very bad things happening, and it's led to a horrible community online of basically just bullying people for how they look and saying that they have a necessity to look better, otherwise they, factually speaking, will not perform as well in life.
Is this like the clavicular side of the internet?
Yeah, I would say probably.
Yeah, he's
They're
a
just
big
extremely
example,
nihilistic.
huge example of a black pillar.
He makes me so sad, but it also tiptoe maxing is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. That is like one of like the like
Yeah.
you see human beings devolving in front of your eyes. That was one of those moments for me, and that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. So
somebody called black pill incel philosophy, and that is literally how I see it. When somebody says black pill, I just think of incels who have taken it to the next level of nothing matters, like fuck everyone. I don't know.
No, dude, that's the whole point, is that they acknowledge that. Like a big black pill argument is that incels are the most persecuted group right now. Like they say incels are more persecuted than like African American people or gay people or like Hispanic people or like anyone in the world. They say incels. They literally say this. They say incels are the most overly hated on.
Could you imagine not having sex being your main character trait? Like that's your main personality trait. Like, and also
Like,
it's so crazy.
Philosophy.
Right. It's also so crazy because you could straight up lie. Like you could say you could be like, yeah, I was having a lot of sex when I was in college, but I don't know. I just wanted to just take some me time, and no one would have any idea. But instead you've decided to plant your fucking flag and call yourself an incel. That's crazy.
Like literally, like your whole political identity more or less now is based on this idea that you have no sex. You're just a loser. You're just a bum. It's so
Yeah,
stupid.
but yeah,
And
but
then
it's
they
also
apply that
like
to other people. Like what?
the other thing that's funny about it too is like there are people who are like the kid Andrew who has called into our show and other shows a bunch. He's 19 calling himself an incel. You're so young. Like why you're not involuntarily celibate. You're 19. You need to like move out of your hometown and like get a part-time job. Like do literally anything and make yourself interesting. Like that will do so much. Like I have this conversation with people a lot. Like if you do nothing, if you are interested in nothing, when you are then going to have a conversation with a person that you like want to date or that you're interested in, and they're like, oh, what do you do for fun? And you have nothing to say, why would they continue that conversation further? And when you do other things, like when you have other interests, it makes you a happier person too. Like it's just, I don't know. I think of people like Andrew and this like black pill group of people, and all they do is like stare at themselves. They have no hobbies. They have no friends. They're fucking clavicular microdoses meth. Like, what are we talking about?
I forgot about that.
Like, actually,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Black pill people actually scare me because, no pun intended, but it gets so dark. Like.
Yeah.
It gets like really bad.
Yeah. I mean, he was just arrested
like
too, clavicular.
For what?
Was it a DUI? He was arrested for something. I don't know.
I think he got taken into custody for like being caught with Ket. I don't know if I can say the full name, but
okay. Wow. I mean, but like I saw videos of him injecting a girl with a mix of, I think, peptides, and he turned to someone off camera and was like, I can't remember what he called it, like what he referred to, like when he said meth. I don't know if he said like M or something, but he said something along the lines of like, oh, is there also a little M in here too? And the person was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, great. Huh? Where's all of your parents? What are we talking about? Disconnect the internet. Takes 10 steps back. What the fuck? It's just crazy. Truly. And it's also just...
There's more to life than your relationships. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, a lot more. And if that's all you value, then you're losing in life.
And there are people who are, like, pulling girls and women who are, like, so attractive, so interesting, and the person that does it is not like what we would call traditionally attractive, but they do because they're interesting people. They're interesting people, they're nice people, they have something to talk about, they have something to like offer in a conversation, and that's because they chose to do those things. It's like, do you know how many of my friends, if I ask them who their celebrity crush is, they say Jack Black? I swear to God. It's like, because Jack Black is funny and he's always been pretty kind and like he has a great reputation for being a nice person. Like, and he's not traditionally. Yeah, it's just not. But and what it makes me sad that this like black pill community has convinced themselves that it's all about looks all the time. And of course it's important to some degree, but there's absolutely cases over and over again where people will overlook what their traditional type is and go for a person who has like a wonderful personality or who's funny or interesting, because at the end of the day, we're all going to get fucking old. All of us. We are all going to get old. At some point, we're all going to shrivel up and be kind of ugly. And at that point, I would like the person who's shrivelly next to me to be funny and interesting and like me as a person. So I don't know. Exactly. They all need their ass handed to them in a different way, which is like, take accountability for what you've created in your life, because actually the world is way nicer than you are giving it credit for, and you have just decided instead to like stomp your feet and say it's not fair. And that's like honestly a pussy move. Like, just grow up, get a fucking hobby, go outside. You know, it's just so, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm like yelling at you like you are a black pill person. I'm sorry. And I know you're not.
No, I get it. I'm feeling you too. Like, because I know people, it's really sad because you know people that are like liberal. Like I have this friend who's like a liberal dude. He's like, I mean, like whatever, he capitalist, whatever, who cares? But he supports liberalist values or liberal values. He is a good guy, and then he just like argues for black pill, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing right now? Like, you're throwing away all your values for no reason. Just 'cause, like, you want to make other people feel worse about themselves or make yourself feel better. Like, bummy.
Yeah,
Bummy.
I don't feel like any of these people are happy either. Like,
No, they're
I
going to
don't-
suffer the consequences of their own actions eventually. It's impossible that they don't unless they die young, which
yeah,
is also a consequence, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, because all the
I
peptides.
saw
What are those?
right, exactly, all the peptides that they're buying from Amazon. Like, what the fuck? I saw
Terrifying.
a clip of Andrew Tate recently, like in the past 2 weeks, maybe, talking about how he's so depressed he wants to kill himself. So why is
Yeah.
that the person that you guys are wanting to be like? Why is that the example
Exactly.
that you like? That's not. I don't want to be anything like that. I don't want to like have done all of this work to make myself one of the most hated people. Holy cow! One of the most hated people, like in the world, and then have no friends. And I guess he has money, but who to do what
Who
with?
cares?
Like he's literally
Yeah.
trapped
I mean, he gets it
in
for
the
human
country he
trafficking,
lives
though.
in.
So it's like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. So it's just like you're born to be sad. Like you're bound to like you're not gonna be happy doing like something like that with your life.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway.
Totally.
I think I think
Anyway.
I have to head out.
All right. Thank you so much for calling,
Thanks for
Shia.
calling.
No, I appreciate it so much. I think I'll have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry. I can't do like those philosophical conversations. I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about.
And I don't know how to say this in like the nice way. I'm not going to argue about like how we know if this reality is real. I just don't care. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand people care about that. I understand people think it's interesting. I don't. Like,
yeah.
I just don't. And it's not about, it's just, yeah. I don't know. I just don't. It's not interesting. It's not. I just don't see the
know.
point.
Wait, I'm just thinking about how ridiculous it is that I kept saying the hatest. Like, was I having a stroke live? Like, I just couldn't think of most hated. I kept saying
The
he's
hatest.
the hatest.
I feel like it's almost right, but like slurring things together. The hatest.
I literally had a conversation with my therapist like a couple hours ago, and I was like, I don't know how to describe this. It feels like someone took my brain and put it on ice, and I have no access to it. I can see it through the glass, but I can't use it. And he's like, so that's brain fog. I was like, yes. Yes, it sure is. Oh my God. Anyway, my brain's on ice, y'all. So he's the hatest person I know.
Hatest. For some reason, I think it was yesterday, I came across like 4 videos of saying, it was like so much worser. They kept saying so much worser or things like that. I'm like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Why do I keep hearing this? And then another thing I keep hearing is people wanting to refer to multiple women and they call them woman. I don't know why I'm seeing this.
Woman, like with an
Yes. Yes, but they're referring to multiple women and I'm seeing it all the time. And somebody came across my video the other day and said, "Thank you for knowing the difference between woman and women." I said, "What?" Like, so I'm not the only one seeing this? I don't understand what's happening.
21% of Americans are functionally illiterate.
There you go. I know that, like,
Do we think it's gotten worse though, or do we just notice it more because of social media, or what?
COVID brain damage has gotten worse, definitely.
yeah, that makes
That's a good
sense.
point.
I think it's like 40% of the US reads like at or below a 5th grade level. Brutal. Anywho, wait, there was something else I was gonna say about women. I don't know. I lost it. It's that dang brain frog again. Okay. Well, we have some other calls. Do you have a preference of which one we take next?
No.
Okay, we'll take the one that's been waiting so patiently for the longest time. And we do have other lines that are open, and I think we will have plenty of time to take some other calls. So if you want to call in, the phone number is at the bottom of the screen. It's 720-619-2288, or you can use the web link that's in the description. Oh, before we take that call, I'm going to read the schedule for the rest of the week. How about that? Okay? Okay, so tomorrow, what's today? Today's Tuesday. Oh, Calling It Now is going to be happening right after our show with Jovan and Ari. Have you been catching any of Calling It Now, or are you like fried by the end of Chewed Gum? Understandably.
Yeah, usually, but should I watch?
It is kind of fun to like, because they're streaming it vertically. So sometimes I'll be like so tired and I'll just be like doom scrolling TikTok and I see them come up and I'm like, oh, I know them. That's crazy. And I'll watch. Yeah, I'll watch for a little while because it's really fun. So yeah, that'll be tonight at 8:30 Central. And then tomorrow, The Hang Up with Matt. And I don't know who's co-hosting just yet, but you know, Matt is the headliner. Can't go wrong. Thursday, TACIS at 2 p.m. with Ben and our very own Luxander. And then they will have Calling It Now at 5 p.m. with Jimmy. Oh, not with Jimmy, with Luxander and Jovan. Oh my God, a double header. Okay. And then Friday, we have the first Line Con, and Saturday is the second Line Con. So, like I said, go to patreon.com/calledline and sign up for Patreon, $15. And you can come to the Line Con and you can hang out with us. And it's really fun. We do like 20-minute presentations on kind of whatever we want. And I'm so tempted to like tell Jimmy I'm going to do something like the anatomy of arousal and then actually do a presentation and be like, these are the worst characters of One Tree Hill. And just do that for 20 minutes.
Stop, that's so specific. I used to love that show.
Oh my God. Listen, I did that during COVID. I did a presentation on the worst characters of One Tree Hill.
I low-key want to see that, so.
Oh, you don't gotta ask me twice. So LineCon will be fun. And if you actually have suggestions of things that you would like for me to talk about, please let me know because I would be happy to take them. And then Devangelicals, we're starting. And that will be on Saturday. I don't know the time yet, but stay tuned. And that'll be a great show too. So that'll be this Saturday. On Sunday, the Sunday show at 1 p.m. with Matt and Paul. Then there's the Sunday show after dark at 7 p.m. with Forrest and John Gleason. Oh, and also a Calling It Now at 4 p.m. Wow, we're doing a lot of Calling It Now. I feel like Jimmy is overcommitting. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, okay, girl. And that's at 4 p.m. And that'll be on Jimmy's channel, of course. On the 20th, Monday, we have Skeptalk at 6 p.m. with Forrest and Erica. And, this is sort of out of order. I'm so sorry. Calling It Now first, 2 p.m. Promise and Jimmy. Then we have The Line Has a Podcast, which we've been doing live, which is really fun. And that's at 4 p.m. Central with myself and Jimmy. And then after that, we have Skep Talk with Forrest and Erica. And then we're back with Chewed Gum next week. And that
was such a long...
We have lots of programming. We have lots of programming. And so there is something for everyone.
So many options.
So many options. I'm thinking about, like, I see Euphoria in, like, a super chat that just came up. And I'm like, I wonder if I should do, like, some sort of presentation on, like, sex and media. Like, maybe that would be kind of fun.
Ooh, yeah. I would actually go to that.
What, Lux?
I feel like you would have a ton to work with.
Write it down.
Euphoria's first and second season, because it was wild. But yeah, you would just have a lot to work with, period, though. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot
I'll write
of
that down. I'll write that down. That feels like that might be fun, actually.
I would like to watch that as well.
My fiance adding me as a +1 on a party full to a party that I'm also invited to.
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy. You think that's your friend? That's my friend too now. Oh my
Wait, so
God.
you should also RSVP and
Add him as a +1?
Yes.
I only wish I would have thought of it first. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So actually, we have a theist who's waiting in the wings, and I would love to take their call. Before we do, I just want to quickly say, for people who don't know clavicular and who that
I'm
is,
just kidding.
it's not worth going down the rabbit hole, really. But I will tell you what tiptoe maxing is, because I saw someone in the chat go, tiptoe maxing, ? And it's just the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. So clavicular, hello? I need to slow down.
Hello, is anybody there? I can't even say it
No.
now. Oh my God.
No. Clavicular is a young man. I believe he's like 21 or 22. Like, he's very young.
Yeah.
And he has done all of these crazy things. He calls it looks maxing, which is his version of just like having a glow up or something. It's like when girls put on, like, I don't know, makeup and do their hair and stuff. This is like his version of it, except it's so extreme and it's so creepy and weird. So he would spend hours like going like this to his jaw, because he insists at some point it chips away at the bone and helps him make a firmer
Doesn't he use a
jawline.
hammer sometimes on his face?
I think so. He also, again, is microdosing meth, and I feel like we just like cannot let that. That can't
We can't
be
let
like
that one slide, all right? It's just
no, because that's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. It's crazy because in that space, it's almost like they speak a whole different language.
Yeah.
The way they talk about things. And I've always, well, like they basically are speaking a whole nother language. But I had seen this stuff on the internet for the longest time, but I had actually never seen like somebody become popular who is one of those people. And
Yeah.
he's scary. I think he's scary as
scary.
hell.
He looks like he's going like this all the time.
Yeah.
It's just something's not right. Something's not right.
The
Something's
lights
not right.
are on, but nobody's home. It is
The lights
the
are
vibe,
on.
I guess.
Nobody's goddamn home. It's really scary. He just like obviously has really, really terrible self-esteem issues. And it's so crazy because he has all these really bad self-esteem issues, and then like he's doing all of these crazy things, and you would assume that he's taking these extreme measures so that he no longer has self-esteem issues, but that's obviously not the case.
Right.
So, I see in the chat he's actually 19. He's 19.
Oh gosh.
But tiptoe maxing is he said he wears lifts in his shoes to make him taller.
Like what's his name? DeSantis?
Oh,
Wait, is that not DeSantis?
Yeah, Ron DeSantis.
Marco.
he wears
Okay, I was about to
lifts.
say Marco
He
Rubio.
wears them.
I think they
Yeah,
just wear like
heels,
1 inch
under
heels
the
basically
shoe.
in their shoes.
A diva.
Tiptoe
I
maxing.
love it. A diva. And they have the nerve to ban drag as they walk into these office buildings in drag. My fucking ass. Unbelievable. So anyways, he puts lifts in his shoes so he's a little bit taller, which like when he was booked, he keeps saying he's 6 foot or over 6 foot. When he was booked, whoever did it made him like wrote down that he's 5'11", and I would like to know if that's even true. I think the person who did it was just like, fuck you, and made him 5'11", even if he was taller, but whatever. So he was asked about like, okay, so if you are wearing lifts in your shoes and then you go to someone's house and they like ask you to take your shoes off, what do you do?
Yeah.
And then he said, and then he said that he tiptoe maxes, which means his shoes or his pants are long enough that he can walk on his tiptoes. And that's the saddest shit I've ever heard.
I wonder if he'll get that like leg lengthening surgery. That's super
I don't know.
dangerous.
I'm sure if he can, he will.
Yeah.
He will.
I love how he calls so many things and then just maxing behind it. It's just the most
I know.
unserious thing I've ever heard in my life.
I know. Tiptoe maxing. Like, I just can't take it. We need to start doing that, actually. We need to start adding maxing to stuff.
For a while, he was like my my vocal stem, and I kept saying Because he was in a video where his girlfriend was yelling at him, and he's like, "I can't spike my cortisol levels or something." Like and so anytime I was like slightly irritated, I'm like, I cannot spike my cortisol levels. I can't remember what he said, but it was hilarious. It's like, damn, I need to start using that.
Oh my god, it's so brutal. It's oh my god, yeah. Someone said I'm click maxing the like button. Exactly, click max, share max. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, give us a super chat with like your favorite. What are you maxing? You know?
Yeah, tell us what you're maxing these days.
I'm gonna Sims max later today.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, girl. Okay, so we have 2 theists who called in. Do you have a preference of which one you would like to take?
No, because the 2 are pretty similar.
They are pretty similar. Let's see what.
Lux said I'm poke maxing. That's so true.
It's supposed to be poke, but I couldn't put your poke maxing because you're Pokemon.
Oh yeah, you are. You're poke maxing. Oh my god.
I am.
I love it.
Wait, and I can prove it really quick. I made this week, and it's a Spheal or whatever its name is from Pokemon. Isn't he cute?
Oh my god.
He's just so rotund. Like that's
Taylor,
my favorite.
That's so good. It's crazy. Oh my god. I love it.
Pokemacking all day.
I love it. All right, well, we have these 2 theists. Maybe we take the one that's been waiting a little bit longer. He just came in first, so might as well. Okay, we're gonna pull in Carlos, who is calling from Florida. Hi, Carlos.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very nice to meet you. I'm doing very good.
Good. Wonderful. What did you want to talk about today?
Well, I was just reading in the title that about God's egos, and I was reading. I was like, "Wow, that doesn't even make sense." You know, who said that? Who said that God has ego or suffers from arrogance? You know what I mean? That's a lie.
I said
God is good. God is love.
That was me.
God is the truth. You know. So that's why I'm calling. So we can talk about it. So I can, you guys are atheists, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's crazy. You guys are atheists until we talk.
Okay.
So be ready.
Okay. So
Right.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with God having an ego. I mean,
it's so big.
he made all of his creations and like
No, wait.
third-
I'm gonna stop you right there. God is
wait. Don't they use he, him pronouns for God in the Bible?
No.
Capital H?
No. But who said? No, but wait. You see, that's how wrong you are. Who told you that God has to do anything written
The
by
Bible.
men?
We're talking about
especially from the Middle
Christianity.
East?
Are you talking about?
But
Sorry.
who told you Christianity is the right religion? God has nothing to do with signs, with crosses, with churches, with money. God is love. Remember.
Okay, well,
Just
tell
like you don't know.
us what God you want to talk about then, because that's not pretend like there's one version of God. Like, let's say what kind of God you believe in.
Yeah, there's many versions, but okay, I'm gonna tell you. Tell me how many planets with life have you seen in your life?
How many planets? Was that the question?
How many planets with life? How many planets with life? It's only one Earth, right? One Earth, one design, one God. If you go to the Middle East, they might say that, Islam. If you go to another one, the Jews. This one, Christianity. Or over here, the Hindus. It doesn't work like that. There's only one God, one planet Earth, one creation.
Hold on. How do you know there's only one Earth? How do you know there's not another Earth somewhere else?
How do I know? It's easy.
Yeah.
Have you seen another one?
That doesn't mean it doesn't
Have
exist.
you seen another one? No, I know, but I'm going to tell you exactly. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But when you understand the truth, then you understand everything. You see, simple. And if you're willing to learn,
Okay, so
It's all up to you.
I'll give you another question, Carlos, because now this doesn't really hinge on any particular God. So if I say I will believe in God if he gives me a sign, if he shows me that he's real or whatever, I'm using he him pronouns, just ignore it for now because it's just like what I'm used to.
But change it for it and it will make more sense. You see?
Okay.
The GOD, you know what GOD means?
Do I know what means?
Great, orderly design. Do you know what God means? Do you think that God is an old guy with long beard? Do you really think that he's going to come from the heavens?
It depends what God we're talking about, Carlos.
I don't think that God is. I don't think there's a God that exists. And here's why I'll tell you that if there is a God that exists, there is an embarrassing level of ego, because if I say I would like, let me finish my sentence, Carlos. If I say that I would like proof, I would like any sort of proof. You can even do it on like a super large scale, but definitive proof that God exists, and it just has to show me one time. Show the world, honestly, show the world one single time, irrefutable proof that God exists, and they won't do it. They won't do it.
I know, but because you haven't met the right person. You are an atheist until we talk. That's all.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But if I say that I'm an atheist and God is looking out for me, why would God not show themselves to me?
No, but because you still don't understand how it works.
To save my soul. God requires me to believe without seeing. Why?
No. Who said that? No. Who said that?
Oh my God, Carlos. Tell us can you explain to us what God is for you? Just explain it.
Okay.
What is your God?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because you still don't understand that. You think that, I need to believe in God.
Yeah, because you have your own definition of God. That's why we don't understand it, is because you have your own damn definition. So tell us the definition.
No, I haven't even given it to you because I haven't had the chance.
I know.
That's all.
Give it.
Can I have the permission to explain to you how God works and the concept of God? Please?
Sure, yes, please go ahead.
Okay,
please go ahead.
Thank you so much, because this is going to save you to end up in a hospital in a few years, because knowing the Word of God will save you from harm, because knowing and being with God will make you feel safe and you will be protected. So you might be saying, oh my God, no, let me explain to you, okay? All right, so God is a system, I mean, it's a creation by God. And how does it work? Okay, for example, what is the purpose of life? Do you know what is the purpose of life?
Don't ask us questions. Just give us your definition.
Okay. The purpose of life is to help people with your talents. You see? So, for example, I can see that you're very bright. And the girl talking next to you also is very bright. You guys are different, but you have different talents. But we have all the same opportunities because we are all genius. You see what I mean? But what happens? We are killing each other. And did you forget that is one of the commandments according to the Christianity religion? Because, again, I don't follow that religion because that is religion is evil. I'm going to explain to you why. So going back to show you that, we have to help each other. And we're killing each other. Do you think that Netanyahu killing hundreds, I don't even know how many children he has killed. And do you think he's going to get away with it? Do you think that Trump is going to get away with what he's done?
Carlos, this feels like you're not giving us your definition of God. What is happening here?
Okay, I'm gonna go there because it takes a little time.
Let's stay on track.
It's not like no. You ask me, you want to know evidence? Then I'm gonna show it to you so you can understand.
Okay, if you're gonna go on like a 10-minute rant, no. But can you give us like a couple of the core concepts of what you think God is?
1 minute. I'm gonna try to resume it in 1 minute. Okay? All right. So God created us all to help each other. but there are some rules. And when you when you break the rules, for example, killing, then you're gonna get in trouble. You see what I mean? For example, killing. Killing means not killing anybody. So, for example, abortion, eating red meat, killing children, euthanasia. That means killing, and killing is a sin. And guess who's watching out there? The GOD. Again, it's not an old guy. It's the system. So they see everything. They actually are listening to this conversation right now, but you don't even know because you don't understand. You think that God is egoistic and he doesn't help anybody? No. God only creates the game. You see? And there are some rules. So I'm going to help you something so you can avoid ending up in a hospital. Do not mess with cows. Do you know why? Because cows are sacred. That means no cheese, no red meat, no leather. Because you
What if
wouldn't
I'm
like to
cheese
see your brother
maxing? What if I'm
wearing
cheese maxing?
somebody else's skin. Yeah, because cheese
That was
is
from
not
the
for
chat.
you to eat, but everybody thinks that cheese is food. And where do you think cancer comes from? Where do you think transgenderism comes from? Where do you think hate, lust, and fear comes from?
Oh my
You get me?
gosh.
So if you eat fear, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to have fear, and your confidence is going to go out the window.
So
and then you are not going to be happy. It's simple. You know, I
So-
can teach you,
so
I can
God
give you all
will-
the rules, and I will eventually tell you that. You know, it's
so
very simple.
God will
You're
God
fair,
will punish
and life
God
will
will
be fair to you.
God
What?
will punish me if I milk max. Like that's what he's worried about is me drinking milk or eating cows.
No, it's because
Which
you still
one?
don't understand the concept. No, you don't understand the concept about the word sacred. Sacred means that you don't never mess with it. You don't hurt it. You don't abuse it. You don't eat it. You don't wear it. You don't entertain with it.
But
You
what
don't
does this have to do
experiment
with
with it.
God? What does this have to do with God? That hasn't proved to me
Because-
anything. It's just you've just
because
told me that you're
because-
vegan,
I
which
wanna
like
tell
whatever.
you.
If that's what you
Okay,
want,
I'm gonna tell you.
if that's
No,
what you
who
want to
told you
do,
that
that's
I'm vegan?
fine.
Who told you that I'm vegan? Who told you that I'm vegan?
Are you not
You
vegan?
see?
He just
This
doesn't
is
eat
the-
cows.
No, did you see? This is the part that you don't understand. You see, before you
Oh my
judge
God,
me, let me
Carlos.
explain to you so you can save yourself. You see? I'm not
Carlos, I
vegan.
have
Vegan
one
equals
question.
evil.
I have one question that will clear all of this up for me. Like, where do you
Okay.
get your information of what your God is? Like, where is this all coming from?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? You know, but let me tell you something about the
Oh
truth.
my God.
God equal. No, this is it. This is going to answer to you. God
Tell me.
equals love. God equals health. God
Oh
equals
my gosh. Okay, so
control.
nothing. I
God
got it.
equals
Okay, right.
confidence.
Right.
You see what I mean? So,
So
the
it's coming
truth,
from your brain. All
nobody
this
can beat the truth. What was that?
So all this is coming from your brain. It's not any God from any religion. That's
No,
fine.
I never
But like
said
I don't
that.
know how you
I never
I don't
said that.
Okay, so then tell me where you're
You
getting
said
this
that.
idea of God. Tell me where you're getting this idea of
He
God.
said,
Where?
no. This is what I'm trying to explain, but you don't let me finish. The truth equals God. So nothing can be the truth. So this is the good part about the truth. Once you hear it, now there's nothing that you can do either you believe it or not, because guess what's going to happen if you keep eating cheese or red meat? Now that you know today,
I don't
what is today?
care about the
We're in-
meat. I don't
No,
care
but
about
wait,
the
I know
cheese
you don't
maxing.
care.
Just
That's why,
tell me.
because that's what happens
Tell me
with
where you get
atheists.
your information about God. I'm not going to let you keep on going on this like rant for like 15 minutes about not eating cheese or meat or whatever, or cow, sorry. Please explain to
comes-
me what kind of God you are
Okay, I'm gonna
worshiping
tell you.
and where
I'm gonna
you get
tell
the
you. I'm gonna tell you.
information. Stop
I'm
going
gonna
on
tell
random
you.
rants.
The information. Okay, let me tell you. But please, don't be mad just because we disagree. I'm not your enemy. You know, we
I'm
are
not mad
family.
about us
Remember, we are
disagreeing. I'm mad
created
at
in
the
same
fact that you
playground.
cannot answer a single question. That's frustrating that you can't answer a single question.
No, it's because it's frustrating because I have to explain to you that, like, you know, for you want to learn something so important, you cannot be expecting it to tell you in few words. You see, it doesn't
Okay,
work like that.
okay,
You ask
one
for
question.
evidence. You
One
want to
question.
know.
This is a yes or no question.
Okay.
Do you go
okay,
by
Okay.
do you go by any religious text?
Religious text? No. Only no. You don't know my religion.
Church of Carlos.
You don't know God's religion. That's why we're doing so bad. So the question is no. It's only God. And kindness, it's a religion. Yeah. Oh, no,
Wait,
no.
what was the last thing you said? What was the last thing you said?
He said kindness is a religion, but then,
kindness
okay, so actually
our religion. You see what I mean? So what is that about? Because love, you love.
Carlos, I have a question.
You will be loved. You kill, you will be killed. You hate,
I get it. I get it.
Guess what happens
I get
to
it.
Charlie Kirk?
I get it.
Okay.
I get it. I don't murder people, so you'll be happy to hear that, Carlos.
Okay.
But
but you eat cows.
I
right?
want to.
That's
I want to ask you a question. When you call into a show like this and you start saying God doesn't have an ego, how the fuck are we supposed to know this God that you created completely on your own? How are we supposed to debate you about it? We don't know what you're talking about. And what you're talking about is just like random shit.
Because you're still not understanding. Because you're not understanding.
Well,
For
you
example,
didn't explain. You didn't explain.
But let me explain to you. Do you see how crazy the word is? It's because we keep on killing cows. And as long as we have slaughterhouses open, you're not going to see any school shootings or violence or diseases anymore. It's simple. You get what you deserve. So remember.
What about people? What about people who don't slaughter or eat cows? What about people who don't slaughter or eat cows and something bad happens to them? What is that?
Yeah, people who are vegan can also have bad things happen to them.
But who told you that vegan is the right way? You see, you don't even let me explain to you. Who told you that vegans?
I'm saying you're talking about not eating milk or not eating any milk, not eating any cows. I'm taking it literally one step further.
Let me
Shut up, Carlos. You can't stop talking over me. Stop talking over me. I'm trying to explain.
Okay.
You said, what does it have to do with vegan? And I'm fucking answering you. Stop. Okay. You said you're talking about not eating cows. Jesus Christ. You talked about not eating cows. I'm taking it one step further and I'm saying even people who are vegan have things that happen to them that are bad.
Let me finish so I can explain to you so you can understand, because you don't understand. Vegan means unhealthy. Vegans means no balance. Vegans means pale and cuckoo.
Well, I think you need milk to have balance. I think you need milk to have balance and to be close with God.
Let me tell you why they're lacking. They're lacking fish. Fish is the symbol of Jesus. If you eat fish, you are okay. Remember, humans here, seafood and plants. Mammals are forbidden. Birds are forbidden. God did not design birds to end up in a cage or your belly. If you eat a egg, if you eat chicken, then be ready. And now you understand why you say the F word and why you get mad. That's it. Why you don't believe in God. When you start
get mad
clean,
because you're being kind of crazy.
Carlos, nothing you're saying is making any sense, literally at all. Like nothing you're saying is making sense.
Okay.
And Carlos, I have to tell you that when things don't make sense to the degree that the things that you are explaining make no sense, that is a moment where the way that because nothing you're saying has anything to do with a God claim. What does eating or not eating meat have to do with if God exists? That's not related at all. And you originally called in to talk about how, Carlos, I swear to fucking God, if you don't, I'm muting you. If you originally called in to tell me that God is perfect and good and doesn't have an ego, but now you're telling me there's a secret code that's not written anywhere, but it is in the Church of Carlos. And in the Church of Carlos, if you eat cows and you have milk, then you are creating violence for everyone else. What the fuck? What the hell? What the actual shit are you talking about? Like, that makes no sense. We're Carlos maxing in a way that, like, there's no connection between these two. And even if we take this one step further, if God is so perfect, why is his secret rule a secret? And then only Carlos in Florida knows the answer to it. And this is not something that's openly communicated. You can't demonstrate it in any way. And the other part of it too is if me and Taylor are listening and the entire chat is listening and we have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, that means there's a problem with the way that you are communicating it. It's entirely possible that you are able to have a really conductive conversation about this, but it's not the way that you're doing it right now. What you are doing makes no sense. It makes no sense. And so I don't really have it in me to deal with a conversation where I'm telling you it doesn't make sense and then you're telling me that's my fucking problem and that it's because I'm not understanding. I'm listening. I am listening to the best of my ability. You are not explaining what you are talking about in any way that makes any sense. So I'm going to unmute you now. Okay, Carlos.
There is no secret. There is no secret because you're not understanding. You know, again, God equals love. So when you eat a piece of red meat, that means violence. Violence equals the opposite of God. But you still don't get it. You see, there's no secret thing. It's about you being good. But why are we killing everybody? Because we're eating cows. We're eating eggs.
What about killing
and that's not food.
What about
simple.
killing other animals? Because you said it's not about being vegan. So is killing other animals not violence?
Yes, but what other animals? Tell me.
Literally any
other
animal
animals?
that people eat.
Yes, of course. You see somebody eating a lechona like Cubans do, then now you understand why they're doing so bad. If you go to Colombia and if you eat a bandeja paisa, which is full of meat, now you understand why there's so much violence there. If you go to Argentina and you
so you are saying you should be vegan.
You can understand. Okay, you can understand why. Like you can do in ChatGPT. Who are the most people?
I'm not putting this in chat. What about
the most red meat?
Why do you only mention red meat? Why don't you mention like turkeys or deer
No. I already mentioned it. No mammals, no birds. Turkey is a bird. Egg is a bird.
You said no mammals?
There's eggs in the
But you understand, Carlos. Carlos, you understand that these are rules that you are just straight up making up. Like you are making up all of this. And then you're telling me
I'm not making
and
one.
this rule
you don't even know me.
And this rule, of course I don't fucking know you. Thank God. I can't imagine what it would be like to be around you in a social situation. I understand you only gave us one rule, and we can't move past that one rule because it makes no sense. You literally made that up. You made that up. And on top of that, there is violence everywhere. There was violence in almost every single step of my day. There was a part of the thing that I used that was undoubtedly violent. And that's just the way that this world is working right now. Do I wish that was not the case? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we do the best we can to reduce harm to the best of our ability. That has nothing to do with God. Actually, that has all to do with people. And you say yourself, the point of life is for people to help other people. So what you've actually demonstrated is that God doesn't exist in this at all. Like he doesn't matter in this at all because what you're describing to me is humans being kind to other living things. So like, what are you talking about? You've literally demonstrated nothing.
Hello? I'm back?
Yes, you're back.
I'm back? Oh, okay. Thank you. No, you're saying I haven't, you know, I haven't even been able to talk because you're saying you want to hear everything fast and I can't do it. You know, you just don't understand. Everything is clear. You can live a happy life leaving the cows alone, but no, every day it has to be cheese, or tomorrow meatballs.
I don't eat cows.
I'm gonna get some.
I don't eat cows. I haven't eaten cows in legitimately 20 years. I have not had cow.
Okay. Do you eat eggs and chicken?
No.
No. Oh no. So now you're vegan. You're vegan?
It has nothing to do. My eating habits have nothing to do. Have nothing to do with God. This was a choice that I made. I'm dropping him.
Even-
You're so annoying. That is the most annoying person who's ever called. I started saying this is the funniest person who's ever called. Now, the most annoying person who's ever called. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm an atheist who doesn't eat those things. And honestly, I don't eat egg right now because it gives me the ick. But normally, I eat things that have like egg in it occasionally. But regardless, doesn't matter. What is that? I'm an atheist who doesn't do those things. So like,
I don't know what his problem was because he got so mad at you for like bringing up veganism, but then he like brought it up without calling it veganism. I'm like, okay, but I don't. So if he's like not a troll, if he's like a person who is actually believing in some weird version of God, I don't know why he can't just give me an overview of what his God was. Instead, he like goes on this tangent about he'll get like fixated on some random detail. If somebody asked me what Christianity was, I wouldn't start talking about the story of like Moses and then all of this other stuff. Like I would just give you a quick overview of what I think the Christian God is, and he just was not capable. I guess I don't know.
No, he really was not. By the way, Kevin is watching right now. Hi, Kevin. And he said, he texted me while he was going on this whole thing. He said, let him cook, Taylor. Jesus Christ, he's not your enemy, which is what he said. He said something like, I'm not your enemy.
Did he say that?
Yes.
Sorry. Like Alyssa said earlier, I was Carlos maxing, so I had to give
Carlos
back the
maxing
same energy. Yeah.
Yeah. I already know. Like, this is going to be, that's like one of the craziest.
Yeah, that was
oh my God.
something.
That made no sense. And also, again, it's like, you actually don't, like, Carlos has no idea how to demonstrate a point, like, clearly, because he could not connect those two things to save his fucking life. And then he got offended when I called him vegan. But then when he went down this whole checklist of things that would essentially
animal products.
What are we fucking talking about? That was crazy. That was crazy. Okay, well.
Really was.
We do have another theist who is waiting in the wings, and also wants to talk about what makes God's ego embarrassing, and maybe this will be a little more coherent. So I'm gonna pull in Adrian, who's calling from California. Hi, Adrian.
What's up, Alyssa? What's up, Taylor? It has been a minute since I talked to you on last time. First and foremost, I do have to say, y'all, Taylor, if I could get just a tad bit of an apology saying that we're similar, because there is no freaking way me and Carlos are similar at all.
No, that was
God from what I heard. You know what I'm saying? So let me just.
I said hopefully you're not similar, but I didn't remember that we'd talked to you before, so I had no idea who we were getting on the line, and I was just hoping we weren't going to have another Carlos because that was a little crazy town. But it's nice to talk to you again, Adrian.
Yeah. Good to hear from y'all too. I just want to keep it plain and simple. I'm gonna try to keep it to the topic. I ain't gonna try to bring up no Bible scriptures and nothing like that. I just wanted to hear y'all opinion on what makes y'all think God has an ego that's embarrassing.
The first concept that comes to mind is the fact that he's having people worship him. I don't know how worship can be anything besides egotistical, so that's one for me.
Yeah, okay. I would say and also there are several different commandments about worshiping only him. And I think that's like, why do you need someone's worship so badly? And part of it is if you don't believe that he exists, then you don't get to come to his little club. And if this is a person who loves me so much, why does he need me to believe that he exists? And worship him to let me into the, you really need the validation from me. And if you really loved me and you wanted me to be a part of this, and you know that there's a whole bunch of atheists on this earth, why wouldn't you do literally anything to try to change our minds? Like, you have the most power in the entire universe, and you won't do anything to try and change our minds. And that's just all ego, because this God needs us to come to him in worship, which is like, what are we talking about?
Okay. Hearing both of y'all, right? Here's what I'll take from this. One, he says himself that he is a jealous God. He doesn't want anybody worshiping anything else. I do come with that. Now, I do agree with you in the sense of why does God, who created everything, why is it such a big thing for him to have his creation worship him? I personally believe that how y'all see it kind of maybe in an egotistic fashion, I see it more so of him trying to I think he's trying to just give you more of that choice by using the scripture to try to just try to quote unquote find him. I think the absence, and this could be me being naive or whatever the case is, but I feel that his absence is more of a case of us having our own choice and our own free will to see, hey, whether we should worship this God that says don't worship anybody, any other deity but me or not. Because as we've seen, what happens when they disobey, when nations disobeyed in the New Testament. I do want to say, Alyssa, I have got into the Old Testament this year for the very first time. So that's why I'm representing a little bit more.
Wow. Okay.
Why do you believe that him showing himself would take away our free will or our ability to choose?
I'm saying, I'm basically kind of going off of what Alyssa was saying when she was saying there is like the absence of him basically is showing that he doesn't exist. Am I right in saying that? I don't want to misinterpret nothing.
I think so, Alyssa.
Yeah, the absence when believing in him is a requirement to be saved forever, and the stakes are that high. I don't know why, if you are a loving creator, why you wouldn't find a way to show yourself and make people believe. That just feels like you need me to kiss your feet. Why? Like, human beings do favors for other human beings without the expectation of a thank you all the time. And this is an allegedly perfect.
Would you appreciate that? Not to cut you off, but wouldn't you want to appreciate that though? If someone did appreciate a good gesture.
I guess, but I'm a human being, and this is a god. This is a thing that should not have. If people are also at the same time telling me that God is love, only love exists in God, and like, well, then that doesn't make any sense because God is jealous. Why would God be jealous? He created all of this. This is like literally all of this is. He has control over all of it. So allegedly. So like, why would he, and he's also allegedly perfect and his word is perfect. So like how is it possible that that 4 of the 10 commandments are about worshiping him and putting him first? What does that have to do with literally anything? You really need us to thank you?
I know I do. But what's it called? I hear what you're saying, but I just feel like as a created being, why wouldn't I give appreciation? Why wouldn't I want to say, hey,
because you don't know he exists.
For giving me breath this day.
And you also you giving appreciation when you feel like you want to give appreciation, that like is a much different experience, even for the person on the receiving end, than to appreciate someone because it was required. Because it was required in exchange for the biggest gift that you could possibly think of. Then that's not like an even exchange, that's coercion.
What I'm getting from you is that you don't see that that the force that we're being forced to worship this deity. Therefore, his quote unquote salvation is kind of unbalanced on the other end because we're quote unquote forced to worship. So
Well,
there's no
we're
point of
not.
having salvation on the other end.
No, there's no. We're not forced, but we're coerced. So we're not forced to give appreciation or forced to worship. But if we don't, then we have this sort of like gun to our head that like the alternative is eternal damnation. And like that's not love to me. That's a person whose ego is so large that they need to be told that they are the best and that I love them so much. And then that's what gets you into heaven.
And like Alyssa said, if somebody had a weapon pointed at their head and they said, hey, either give me your money or I'll kill you, and they gave them their money, would you look at that person and say, well, you chose to give them your money? Like, we don't look at that as a actual choice.
I would look at that as a person that chose their life over material stuff, because you can always get money back, but you only have one life.
But the point is that you're threatened, so is it really a choice? Even if you don't want to give the money, it doesn't matter. You're going to give it because
you know, your options are limited. I'll feel you.
It's like the difference between giving money to charity and being robbed.
I also find it interesting that the definition of free will in most places doesn't fit the Christian definition of free will, because the definition I see every time I type it in is from Oxford Languages.
Free will, Taylor, if you don't mind me asking. My bad. I think this delay is making it seem like me cutting you off, and please respectfully,
no, you're good.
Like, I'm not trying to cut you off at all. You know
no,
what
you're
I'm saying?
Fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
What's your definition?
One part of free will is not having a threat of something happening to you if you make a specific choice. Like, when you look up the definition of free will in Oxford Languages, it says that basically you can make a choice and you don't have to worry about your fate or consequences. When God is saying, like, you're gonna burn in hell if you don't believe in me, worship me, whatever, there's a reason why in any other situation we wouldn't call it free will, but for some reason in Christianity they insist it's free will, and it doesn't make sense to me.
Then let me ask you this, since we're kind of on the free will tip, why is it that most atheists that I talk to don't even believe that there is any type of choice involved in their life at all?
Like, they don't believe in free will?
Not all that I'll talk to, but some. Yeah, they don't believe in free will, period.
That's a side of the internet that freaks me out. Like, because I know it's a whole thing. Like, this free will doesn't exist and it's an illusion. It stresses me out so much. I don't know.
It's hard for me to
at least be honest with it. That's what's up.
It's hard for me to even say if we have free will or not. I literally don't know. But I do think people kind of shit on me for saying this, but I just thought it was interesting. That's all I'm saying. Is this woman was making an argument that we don't have free will because she's like, no matter how hard I try, I cannot put my hand on this hot stove. Like, I just cannot. And she gave that as an example of not having free will, and I found that interesting. That maybe our brains like won't allow us to do specific things in certain times or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
Alyssa?
I honestly, the lack of free will, I guess, I guess I'm sort of like asking Taylor in the chat and whatever, is the concept of us not having free will because there's like consequence that we understand. So like, it's not really free will because we're balancing like what the result of what it is that we're going to do.
I don't know. I've heard people explain it in the way where they believe that any single thing that happens only has one specific kind of outcome. Like, I don't know. It's
not multiple?
no. people would argue there's only one specific outcome for like everything, I guess, depending on what matter is involved, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what to think about free will. I don't think we could ever really know for sure either if we have free will.
Yeah. I don't really that
I'll
whole
feel you on that.
yeah, like that whole thing, that whole conversation, it like stresses me out because honestly, I don't really understand it. Like I don't understand I would need to really dig into it, but honestly, every time I do, it like gives me anxiety. I'm like, I don't care what this is because it scares me. But I know that there are people who like, you know, Promise has said to me before that like, you know, free will is an illusion. And I'm like, stop right there. But in any case, I do understand like it's interesting to talk about free will in the context of the Bible because it is sort of like, do we have free will if ultimately what it feels like is coercion? It's like you can do whatever you want, but if you make the choice that is not the one that God approves of, then you are facing eternal damnation. So you do technically have free will, but with the worst consequence available.
That's if you don't yeah, I feel what you're saying. Here's my little quib on it before I get back, or lib on the ego before I gotta pick the wife up. I believe that we do have choices in our lives, and I feel that wherever direction that we do go in our lives, it is totally up to us. But there is, not to bring up scripture, but it does say in the Bible that he also has guided ourselves. So I'm kind of like guided our steps. So I'm kind of on the fence of like, all right, we kind of have free will, but then in a sense, he already, you know, have a preordained plan. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with free will and preordained plan to be full integrity 100% with y'all. But that's where I'm at with that. I still think when it comes to quote unquote God's ego and requiring everybody to worship him and only him, I only disagree because there have been examples in the Old Testament, more so talking about Ahab and Jezebel, where they completely, and I can go Jeroboam too, and his son or grandson, whatever the case is, where they both were erecting golden calves and so forth, and freaking having bell poles and what's it called, Asheroth poles or some crap like that, right? And they were straight up telling everybody in Jerusalem and Judah, hey, these are the gods you need to go and worship. And, you know, with that being said, you know, their household, and they were going through it with that action. But I've seen those that only have followed, and I'll just point out Elijah and Elisha as just two that, you know, it speaks about wholeheartedly worshiping only him, and they were being quote unquote blessed. I just bring up those two parallels and saying that I think there is a difference between. Oh, go ahead. I just think there's a difference between saying that he got an ego and him requiring that, because he does say he is a jealous God.
Question number one is, why do we give the exception that jealous is a good thing for God to be when he says jealousy isn't good? But number two, I always wonder how it isn't egotistical that for most Christians, they say the thing God cares about the most is giving him validation, like believing in him to get into heaven. Mm-hmm. And that is more important to him than you assaulting somebody, you killing somebody. Like, he can overlook all of that, but the one thing he can't overlook is you not giving him validation. To me, that feels, I'm not sure if you could get more egotistical than that.
I respect that. Let me just say for the record, like, I'm not one to co-sign any type of jealousy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna just say that, like, hey, you know, for example, like, I will never be jealous of like someone talking to like someone of the opposite sex talking to my wife because she already knows who the husband is. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so that type of jealousy, like, I'm good with that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, I don't co-sign any type of jealousy like that. But
What
I
about
hear what
God's
you're saying. Like,
jealousy?
why? I'm sorry.
What about God's jealousy then? Like, why is God still perfect and jealous if jealous isn't a good thing to be?
I think I feel what you're saying. I just feel how he shows his jealousy because he is because since he is a holy God, I guess how he wants to show what happens don't if you don't listen to, you know, or don't understand just how jealous I can get. This is what's going to happen. I don't know his ways. I'm not God, so I can't really answer that question. I'm gonna be, you know, completely honest, full integrity. Like,
Okay.
some stuff, hey, what God does, I don't have the answer to. I'm reading as I learn. You know what I mean?
Okay. How do you feel about the heaven thing? Like, giving God validation is the most important thing to him, and he can overlook anything else as long as you give him validation at the end of your life and like say that you believe in him.
I mean, when I think about heaven, like, just off the top right now, like, I think about the 24 elders that are around him right now. I mean, and we're talking eternity, giving him, hey, glory, 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 honor, honor, honor. So I can imagine what they're going through. And we're talking about 24 of them encircled around him. But, you know, that's neither here nor there.
So you don't think it is egotistical that's like
Yeah, you know,
his number one priority is himself? Isn't that like the definition of egotistical if like you're putting that above
I think
everybody?
I think the most important thing for him outside of acknowledge, you know, loving God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Outside of that, I think what's important for him is to have everybody love each other. It does say love is the sum of all the laws. You know, paraphrasing, but
Yeah, but he puts himself above
I,
that
I don't think
always.
I don't think love and the ego coexist. Personally,
You do think love and ego coexist?
no, I said I don't.
You don't.
I
Well,
do not.
but God is
No.
supposed to be perfect and all loving, and his ego exists
Mhm.
in the same space. Like,
Uh,
if you think about the 10 commandments, the first one is thou shalt not have any other gods before God. The second one is thou shalt not make yourself an idol. The third one is thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain, and the fourth one is remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. The first 4 commandments are about himself, God himself. Like, is that not a little egotistical to you? Because, like, really, if what he cared about the most was the commandments that are about caring for each other, then why would he not put those first? Like, why would you not have that be, um, like, 4 of the 10 commandments are about himself? Like, is that not strange to
I'm not
you?
arguing that at all. Well, I, I think, I think he wanted to put it down first because that is the most important to him. I don't see that as an ego thing. I see it as realize who is your creator and make sure you remember that. This is his way of reiterating my opinion over and over again. This is who I am. This is the type of creator that I am. And just keep that in mind. I don't see
Right.
that as ego. I
So
see that as only God laid down his laws for his creation. That's how I see it.
But if his number one thing that he cares about is your, oh my gosh, am I paused? Oh no.
No, you're good.
If the number one thing he cares
No,
about
you're
is the number one thing he cares about is himself, and like as in he cares so much if people give him validation, and again, at the end of your life, the only thing that matters is if you believed in him. I just don't understand how it isn't egotistical, because by the definition of the word, it is.
Now, let me ask you something. Let me ask y'all something. That's those same commandments, right? To love your Lord with all your heart, mind, soul. The very last one, the very first one. Let's just say if that was commandment number 10, would you feel would you feel the same way, that he's being egotistical?
Not with that specifically, but I would still think he's egotistical because half of the commandments are about him. Half of them are about him, which I think is pretty.
Let's just say first 4 on the bottom half, and the bottom half or the first 5. Would you feel the same way?
That doesn't change anything for me.
Egotistical?
Yeah,
Okay.
the order doesn't change so much when it comes to like it still is egotistical to include them, but I think because they were included and the priority is the first 4 are related to himself, that's where the argument for God being egotistical comes into play.
Right, and like I said earlier, it is in a line with what God cares about the most, according to most Christians, at the end of your life. He puts it above everything. So it makes sense that it's at the beginning of the 10 Commandments, right?
I respect that, Taylor. That's what's up.
Well, okay, we actually have to wrap because Jimmy has another show after this, but Adrian, we appreciate you calling. You always have very respectful conversations with us, and you have honest, respectful conversations, and we deeply appreciate it. But we do have to run because we have to get to super chats before we wrap for the night. But thank you so much. We appreciate
Thanks for calling, Adrian.
the chat.
Of course, thank you for having me on. Appreciate it. And until next time, and like I said, I always want to come respectful to whoever I talk to, regardless if you believe it or not. All right, y'all enjoy your day. Thank you again.
Thank you. You
Have a
too.
good one.
Bye.
Well done. Yep.
He's nice.
No, he is really nice. I feel like it comes down to the fact that I don't know. This is what I got from the entire conversation. Is kind of like he acknowledges all of that, but just says they can't exist at the same time. So, period. That's like it's over. But obviously, we don't find that to be an answer that makes sense, or it doesn't get away from. It doesn't erase the egotistical aspects at all.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, all right, let's get through our super chats and then we're gonna send you guys off to Jimmy. Actually, is it Jimmy tonight? No, it's not.
It's
But
Jovan
we're
and
gonna send you
Ari.
off. It's Ari and Javon?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll send you off their way. $10 from Bobby Keniston. I think this idea of men not cleaning/keeping a house goes back to our education too. In my middle school, home ec was girly. Guys took wood shop. I took home ec, got life skills, and met girls. Period. You had the cheat code. Yeah, but I agree with you.
Yeah, it's very true. $10 from One-Eyed Weirdo. I'm a disabled man who needs help cleaning my apartment. Housekeeping is a health issue. Not teaching men how to clean is a disservice to us as well, and learning these skills isn't hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
agree. $5 from Mira Featherbender. I've been having a super rough time the past 8 weeks. Med adjustments and massive dysphoria. Y'all help me pull through. Hashtag Team Alyssa.
Aw.
That's really nice. I'm happy that this community has been supportive for you, and I'm sorry that you're having 8 weeks is a long time to have a rough time. So I'm sorry. I really am.
$5 from Nico Teardrop. There is no hard problem of consciousness. Consciousness is an emergent property of our brains. Dude's philosophy is like century out of date. I'm not even sure if I'm kind of confused if any of that was even his position or if he was just like talking about people's positions.
I think he just took a class recently.
Okay, that makes sense.
That is what it felt like. It's really funny. Oh my gosh.
Thank you for the $5 also.
$5 from Joshua Everett. 1, new community headcanon is that Sharif is the name of Andrew's dad. 2, my partner was in love with Chris Farley. Wait, I don't know what's happening. Oh, I see. Like, when did Andrew even get through again? I'm shocked.
Yeah, I'm confused. Who's Chris Farley? Am I tripping? Who is that?
Chris Farley.
He was a comedian, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Did he die? I think he did. Yeah, he did. He's dead.
I don't know him.
Yeah, you would know him if you saw him. He was like an SNL guy.
Okay.
You would know him if you saw him. Or maybe you wouldn't, because maybe
Who knows?
your secular time has not been long enough for you to have.
That could be very true.
I think this is you.
$5 from Space Barbarian. I saw a video by Hemmet Meta or Medi. I don't know. Meta. I don't know if that's the last name. Whatever. Where now I can't say it, clavicular. Jesus. That his parents are a few generations older than me.
A few generations older than me. Wait,
Like,
his parents are
a couple generations older.
like he has like elderly parents. What's
Wait.
going on?
I don't know what what exact period of time is considered a generation, because it never seems very strict when it comes to like
It's
who's in what
not.
generation. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
they like vary. I don't know. Weird. Okay. $10 Canadian from Jessica Gallagher. I haven't seen Euphoria yet, but I remember as a kid arguing with my mom about how I thought Saved by the Bell was realistic. I think kids/young people just have a skewed perspective. Thanks, ladies. That's actually really funny and helpful to contribute, because I thought that was so I was like, but can you saying your high school is like Saved by the Bell is one thing. Can you imagine the fear that would strike a parent knowing that with their kids saying that their high school experience is like Euphoria? Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, Rue's high school experience was like a drug dealer and owing people a bunch of money. That's concerning. $4.99 from David Emmanuel. Are you guys gonna make me say this man's name again? Clavicular is a cringe robot nerd. Consciousness is literally yellow. And also, what type of music do you all listen to?
Consciousness is literally yellow. It was crazy.
I feel like it's hard for me to say like a genre, but I'll say my favorite album is How to Be a Human Being by Glass Animals. I don't really like Glass Animals anymore, but it's an amazing album, and I love it.
I listen to all types of music. I grew up listening to like a lot of emo and hardcore and stuff like that when I was younger, and now recently I've taken a hard turn and I'm having a Noah Kahn phase, and no one is allowed to make fun of me for that because I really like his music. It's really nice. He has this song.
I feel like it's pretty comforting.
It is. It's really comforting. He has this song called Orange Juice, and it's about like a person who's an alcoholic who comes back home after like getting treatment, and like they say like, well, we bought this for the kids, but there's orange juice in the refrigerator and we're just so happy you're here. It's like literally it's giving me chills. It's such a beautiful song. Anyway, Kevin toured with him like last year, and he played like to 40,000 people with Noah Kahn. They were opening for him, and he said that Noah Kahn is like the most chill, like normal guy in the best way, like just a very just normal dude.
Yeah.
And I hope he stays that way, because I think that's why his music is very comforting. But
makes sense.
Anyway, $5 from A. Krenich. If you do that topic, heated rivalry, please.
That was one thing I thought of, like as soon as we were talking about that.
Yeah. I'll write that down. Thank you.
$5 from Rat Boy. Lulu. He did not invent looks maxing or mewing. That bullshit has been around for a good few years. Yeah, that's why I was talking about earlier. I always saw this stuff online. I wasn't sure like how many people in real life actually went by it, but now we have someone who's like more popular, I guess, representing that whole community. Unfortunately,
yeah. Oh yeah. $5 from Space Barbarian. Do looks maxers max everything like Smurfs smurf everything?
Yeah.
They're tiptoe maxing, so they are maxing more than most.
And I've definitely heard him say about 5 or 6 different words and then just add maxing to it. So
Meth maxing.
drug maxing, yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
$5 from Dustframe. I'm super chat maxing.
Yeah, girl.
We love
it.
that. Everybody super chat max.
Yeah, super chat max always. 10 pounds from Louis the Linguist. Thank you both for the conversation with me. Oh, Louis. Never mind, it's Louis. My internet crashed. It was great talking to you both. I'll call back sometime. Let me know if anyone can provide any proof for a God claim. We will let you know. We'll keep you updated. I imagine it would make news. Thank you so much for calling. That was a really lovely conversation. I'm sorry your internet crashed.
$5. Carlos is not getting to the point maxing. Make me want to pull out my hair maxing. You guys are funny. Yeah, when he was talking and I saw somebody in the chat say cheese maxing, I was like, okay, I have to say that.
Oh my God.
Argument.
$10 from Arcane Goat 2024. Do not mess with cows because they make the cheese for the moon, and no cows means no cheese means no moon. Exactly.
And then what's going to happen to our oceans?
Exactly. No notes.
$5 for Mystic Mind Analysis. And if you reverse the polarity of the neutron flowing of the thingy-majig, then you may finally reach a more coherent point than Carlos. Hashtag Babel maxing.
Babel maxing is good.
Like that.
$5 from the Atheist Mechanic. I'm putting cheese maxing on a shirt now. LOL. Carlos does not sound sane. I know.
Low-key, I'm always cheese maxing, not to like out myself. But
me too.
I do
not
love
to out myself.
Give me an aged Gouda. Delicious.
Yeah, exactly. I'll
yes,
cheese max that shit so hard.
A smoked Gouda? Please.
Yeah.
Please. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. I think
this $5 from Arcane Goat. Does this only apply to cheese that originates from cows? Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Because they're sacred, or does it also apply to cheese from goat milk, almond milk? I don't know. That's the thing, is you could trace back violence to so much stuff that like I feel like you'd have a really hard time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, if I think
you can't do anything that would cause violence, I guess.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like if I look at literally every single thing on my desk, I'm sure that some piece of it was made in violence, and it's so unfortunate. I wish that wasn't the case, and we can do our best to like mitigate it to the best of our ability. But like, I
feel like his God needs to be more specific.
I agree. $5 from Space Barbarian. Carlos, you suck at explaining anything. I know. I was like, stop telling me that it's my problem that I
was
don't
like
understand.
Begging him to define his God, and he just couldn't.
Yeah, and he just wouldn't.
$5 from back. What? Okay. Thank you for the $5, Carlos. Shut the fuck up, you incoherent mess. Yeah.
$5 from Adrian Belgrave. Adrian Belgrave. Bill Blen Beats. My turn. Thanks, Carlos. Oh, Adrian. Duh. Adrian called. That's the Adrian who called. Thanks, Adrian. Sorry.
$5 from Melatonail. Carlos reminds me of my dad. His inability to communicate, his condescension, even his accent. I'm low contact with him for a reason. Yeah. That's the thing. I feel like people do this thing where they are explaining something and they talk to you like you're stupid for not understanding it. But if nobody's understanding what you're saying, then that's a you problem. Like,
then you have to change how you're explaining this. Yeah. Joshua Everett, $5 from Joshua Everett. Carlos is the patron saint of babbling dipshittery. Love it. That's great.
Yeah. $5 from the Atheist Mechanic. Carlos is just a food racist. I've never heard that in my life. I don't know. I feel like he's a vegan and he just doesn't like the label.
I know. I agree. £5 from Vincent King. Carlos is so draining, never explains, never rational. Man, I'm gonna have to get cheeseburger. Oh God, hello. I'm gonna have to get cheeseburger maxing to recover.
Don't tell Carlos. $100 from Billy Sipe. I don't know. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Man, I love this show, but this guy is driving me a bit wonky. Thank you, Alyssa and Taylor, for putting up with it.
Thank you so much, Billy. You're always so thank
you so much.
Generous.
If you're in the chat, tell me. You might have told me how to say the second part before, but yeah, remind me how to say it. I want to say it right. Thank you.
We're puppy maxing today. $4.99 from David Emmanuel. Andrew Tate is the hatest person ever. He makes the world much worser. I forgot about that.
He makes it so much worser.
He does.
$5 from Alishana Silverbow. Carlos' entire point is moo.
Yes, indeed. $5 from Oh So Sage, Church of Carlos, also known as COC. Cock. Hilarious. That's great.
$10 from Green 31 OSU. Carlos likes to rant for 10 minutes saying 100 words that never came together to form a coherent thought. Yeah, it was a lot of words, and I'm like, I feel like nothing is being said right now.
No, nothing was being said. It was the same stuff over and over again, which none of it made sense the first time, the second time, third time, fourth time. $9.99 from Carmike 151. Here's a little bit of cash for the torment of dealing with Carlos, the ultimate Dodge Maxer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
$5 from Dusk Frame. The next time a Christian tells you the Bible is just a source of, or is the source for morality, just remember that nowhere in the Bible does it condemn drink driving. Yeah. Well, it doesn't condemn like anything. Like, I mean, it does, but there's so much that it doesn't. So you could just say, hey, this ain't in the Bible. I'm going to drink and drive.
$5 from Random Bifurcation. Thanks for the reminder about the deep cleaning. I've got both my sons, 12 and 14, now deep cleaning their room. It's something their mom usually does. Truly, I wish that, like, even for me, I wish I was taught more thoroughly how to deep clean. And I just like watched my mom.
Your sons are probably like, fuck them girls.
I know. I'm
they
so
do
sorry.
That. Now you're cleaning your room. $10 from Where's Waldo. Taylor, you need to watch Tommy Boy and learn who Chris Farley is. Holy schneik. Okay, I'll add it to my list of things I need to watch.
$5 from Dusk Frame. I'm a chew maxing gum cell. Hashtag
I like the gum cell.
Yeah, gum cell. That's great. I love that. So we should call you guys the gum cells.
Maybe
like
you guys have to decide though, because you're the ones being called a gum cell.
I also saw Gummies. Gummies is also very cute.
Oh, Gummies is cute.
Gummies is cute. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Lux, for producing, and Dragon for screening, and all of our mods in the chat, who were very helpful today, as they always are. Thank you to all of our patrons. And please go to patreon.com/calledline so you can join us this weekend for LineCon, and it's going to be so fun. And what else? I don't know.
Wish me luck tomorrow, 6:30. Tubes go on.
Good luck. Oh my god. Good luck.
We'll be back here non-tubeless.